because it's a very quick process. Alright, and the colder this is, and you can see it's all got ice on it, right?
What is it?
Because it's just ethanol.
Where do you buy that?
Yes.
Nimbin.
But it's been in the freezer
About it, like
all night, so it's really, really cold, right? Same with the buds. These are just normal buds. We've kept them in the freezer all night.
Yep.
So ideally, we would chop them up, but we don't have much time, so I'll just kind of get the smaller stuff off the bottom at the moment. Alright, pop that into there. Okay, but ideally we should chop all these buds right up. Yeah? So I'll just take a couple of them and break them up a bit for you and show you what I mean.
So what would you do? You put it in that little grinder thing?
Yeah, just chop them up however you can. Right, because the more chopped up they are, the less space we've got to fill with ethanol. Right, that'll do, honey, just chuck it in there. I'm not going to do too much now, I'm just giving you a quick demonstration, alright?
Yes.
Okay, so, I'd like to see more chopped up than that. Now, we just want a little bit of ethanol in there so that everything is in suspension. You know what that means? Right, there's no lumps and bumps in there, and when we stir it like this, anyone got to watch 3 minutes, please? Give me a 3-minute timer from now.
Is that like a saturated mixture?
Because it's super cold, right? Ideally, we should put that in the fridge too, so that it stays pretty cold. You could even sink it in some dry ice if you wanted to.
Do you put it in overnight or something?
Yeah,
like that?
prep. That's a prep
Okay.
to get it ready. All right, we freeze the alcohol first, and we freeze the bud first.
Oh, okay.
All right. So now let's have a look at that. Yeah. All right, okay. Everybody, come over here and have a look. See the colour of that oil. Come over this side and put the light. Yep. Nice amber colour. Can you see that? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We like that colour. That's the colour we're looking for. If you see it start to go green, you need to separate it straight away. How many minutes have we gone? 30 seconds.
What's going on when it turns green?
Yeah, it's still looking pretty good, so we just keep gently stirring it. You don't have to go berserk on it. Alright.
What if it goes green?
If it goes green, separate them straight away. So just
Do you use a strain?
pour it out.
Oh, pour the
Yeah, a
solution
strainer
away.
would be good, but you know, I haven't got one ready. So we're just going to use the spoon, and that'll be fine. And then, you know, I mean, people have been doing this for bloody hundreds, maybe thousands of years. Right? And you have strainers and stuff like that, so they decanter off the top. You just leave it settle. What colour we got now? Oh, it's still a nice colour. Where are we? 1.5.
Well, you don't have to go to 2.5 to put it in start.
Yeah, I wouldn't even go that far really. Say about 2 minutes.
It's only been 1 minute.
No, we've got to
No, I'm going to stop watch going.
Oh well, you know, 1.42. 42 seconds.
And that looks still pretty good.
You put it on the internet? Oh, great.
Alright, you can see some grease starting to come through now, so I'm going to separate it now. Alright? So, just
What sort of store do you get the liquid from?
We can get it here at the Emporium. Most hydroponic stores, growing stores will have it. It's just an organic fuel extraction, oil extraction. No, it's 420.
okay, well, I'll tell you the story about that. This particular guy.
It's 419 actually. My clock says you have 1 minute to get ready.
Alright, so now that little bit there, ideally we'd have a strainer here, and that'll be in the strainer. To get that last bit out, just pour a little bit more and rinse it through. Okay, when it drips out clear, you know you've got it all. And it should be a nice ambery colour, or you can see a little bit of green. As I was saying, it was just starting to go green. You see it's just starting to go green, and that's why I pulled it apart. Okay? So
If it goes green, what does that mean?
That just means you've got a bit of chlorophyll in there.
Oh, okay.
And
Is that good or bad?
it's only a drama if we actually want to make a concentrate, evaporate the alcohol out, in other words. If we evaporate the alcohol out, then the chlorophyll in there can be a little bit of a drama, because it can be, when you concentrate chlorophyll, it can cause a sore, tickly sort of throat, like you've got a frog in your throat or something like that, and it can give you a bit of nausea, which is a bit sickly feeling. So, now there's not much chlorophyll in there, so I'd be fairly happy to evaporate that out. But if you want to, you can just pop that in the sun, like direct sunlight, for about 1 hour, and just watch it. Put a lid on it because you don't want it to evaporate. Yeah? But crack the lid, don't want the lid tight, because what happens is the chlorophyll breaks down by the sun, and when it breaks down, it turns into CO2, and then it wants to escape, and the CO2, if it's all sealed up, it can't escape. Okay, so you have the lid cracked, and an hour later it should go from green to a nice gold or even red.
It's in the sun for an hour.
Yes. Alright. So, how do we evaporate that out? Well, there's several ways we can do that. You can just leave it in the sun and it'll evaporate, you know, if you've got sun. The reason why we've got different ways of doing it too is because we can make different products by doing it different ways. So, like when they say hot and cold extracts, they're really talking about whether the THC is activated or not activated. Okay? So, to make an activated THC, you need to apply heat. To make a non-activated THC, acid THCA, you don't want to apply any heat, including sunlight.
Including sunlight?
Yeah, so you would just use a tray, like a biscuit tray or something like that, right? Pyrex would be good, you know, or something, even silicon is pretty good too. And then have that sort of a little bit of a drain so that it can collect in one little egg, and then blow a fan, just a normal fan over the top of it, and you want to do this outdoors or at least out a window. Yeah?
So this is evaporation.
Yeah, because as it blows the air across the top of the alcohol, more air rushes in. As more air rushes in, it releases more alcohol. It doesn't take very long. It's quite amazing how fast it can take when you just blow air across the top of it. Yeah? And then you will end up something like this. It's all evaporated out and collected, this gooey little mess here. See that? It'd be good if we had some lights now. Yeah, we had some lights on or something?
Lights. So that's hash oil. No, that's no.
Yes, so that's what you're left with then is hash oil. That's what we've always called. Now,
Is that blue?
no, that's just silicon. It doesn't like to stick to.
How much did you derive the amount you have there of the weed you used?
Okay.
Or how much weed did you use to get that?
This was 5 grams before I started today, and 5 grams you'd probably get out of about 2 ounces of high quality buds.
Wow, that's a lot. That's very concentrated, huh?
But some strains will produce more, and some strains will produce less.
2 ounces of weed is like in that little thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we could probably put more ounces in that.
Really?
That's not full.
God.
Yeah, that's not full. Believe me, yeah, it's very concentrated.
So then, when we have that, all right. By the way, before we evaporate it all out, that is cannabis tincture.
Say it again?
We call that full strength tincture
Full strength.
because, green dragon. But because, let's just explain this.
Yeah, I know that.
We call it a full strength tincture because that's all of the buds we could fit into there. Yeah. And so that's the full strength that we can get to that. If now we got some more of those buds, hopped it into there again, and did it all again, we would have double strength, exactly. And then we can do that up to 9 times if we really want.
Pretty thick then.
It does get pretty strong. Yeah.
So, you
now-
just dry it. So you dry the stuff, yeah.
Once we get it to this point here, we can then start having a lot more fun with it. So, we've got here what? So this one, so whatever we put in, whatever we start off with, right, in this case, some really nice buds, yeah, then that's what we get out. Alright, so if we start off with some really nice hemp buds that they use to make rope with, then we get CBD, and this is CBD. Alright, so then
The red one's THC.
the red one is THC, but that's from a strain called Critical Mass. And Critical Mass, bred from the plant, has a 50-50 THC CBD content.
That's mine.
Yeah.
It just sounds so nice, I have to say that.
And how did, what was in your CBD one? What kind of,
What kind of hemp?
yeah, did you
Well,
say or you didn't?
Industrial.
no,
It's just an industrial hemp.
no. It,
The
it's
gym
a
rope.
special hemp that they grow probably for seed, but because of the, when you produce seed, the closest thing to the seed is those little black leaves around the seed, right? And they have the highest concentration of cannabinoids on the whole plant. Right? They're all compacted all over those things. So if you're going to have a lot of seed, you're going to have a lot of them. So if you're going to have a lot of them, you're going to have a lot of oil. So they're more than likely bred from a seed plant. And there are many strains that you can get for breeding oil, for breeding for seed growing. I don't know what that one was because it probably came from China. And even if they told us its name,
No.
we wouldn't recognise because it's got a Chinese name. Now in China, they're way ahead of us. They've been doing this for thousands of years, right? 5,000, 6,000 years. So they've got all down pat. They know what strains kill what disease, everything.
And
Okay,
from
so
that,
that's why it's all named over there in Chinese names. If we could understand China, we'd understand what the strain is and what it's used for.
Is it straightforward, not corrupt?
Oh mate, you know, it's corruption in everything. I mean,
Yeah, but I thought particularly Chinese might be corrupt.
but if you've got lung cancer, well, you've got to send it all the way through your blood to get you. It's kind of a long way around. So the best thing to do, just put in a vaporizer and vaporize it straight into your lungs. Bam, kills the cancer. Alright, so there's all many different applications. Now, cannabis tincture, or sublingual tincture, is got alcohol mixed with it, right? And alcohol causes cancer, we all know that. Why would we do this? Well, there's a medical reason why we do this, and that is that it actually dissolves the active ingredient, in this case THC, and it carries it straight through our mucous membrane, straight into our blood, and straight to our brain if that's where we've got brain cancer. Then this is an incredible way of getting THC straight into your brain very fast. And why would we want to do that? Because it hurts. And you don't really want to have to be waiting around for it to go through all your tummy and everything else to get pain relief, right? You want to pop it in your mouth and go, oh yeah, that's enough. Or, no, I need a bit more. Oh, that's enough. Yeah? So that's why we make cannabis tinctures. Very quick relief, yeah, from chronic conditions like heart attack, seizure, epilepsy, the list goes on, chronic pain, yeah. Okay, so how do we make this? Alright, let's make some right now. Alright, in here is 3 grams, 3 mils, pretty much the same thing. So, we know it's in there, 3 mils. So we'll pop this 3 mils into this bottle here like this. Alright, we'll leave that right down the bottom. See that? It's a pretty easy job, eh? Once you've got it in, once you make that extract, you can make anything you want, any of the medicines you want. Alright.
Then it's just a matter of knowing what
Okay.
the original substance to guess what body get some training about which one's what it's supposed to be.
Yes, and that's a really good thing, right? Because medicinal cannabis therapy is dose dependent. Now what that means is the bigger the dose that you can handle in your own little body, the faster you will heal. Okay, small doses, you still get the healing, but slower. Now this is a good thing. You can now choose how fast you want to heal by your dose size. Okay? You don't have to have big doses to heal, to kill cancer, unless it's going to kill you tomorrow. Alright? But I was saying before, one dude came, he had cancer all through his lungs, had 2 weeks to live. There was a little bit of his lung here on the right side left, and he bought a vaporizer, 40 grams of that, and smashed a whole lot through his lungs in 30 days, which is a lot. This one, and killed his lung. It's completely clear. I saw the scans. I wish I had kept copies of them so I could show you all.
30 days.
30 days, 40 grams in 30 days. Bang.
When you say copies, do you mean x-rays?
Scans.
Oh, the scans, sorry, yeah.
They'd send him away to die when he turned up to my place.
Yeah, they're-
Straight away
Because he's delivering it straight on to the
yeah, but what I'm saying
cancer.
is he only
See?
had 2 weeks.
Pardon?
I said he only had 2 weeks, but in 30 days he was still pumping along.
Yeah.
Oh, he's cured now. He's, last I heard, he still had a bit of cancer in his extremities here and there because it had already moved around before he started on the oil. Okay, so let's get back to this, alright? So now we put 3 grams or 3 mils of oil in there. Alright, and now we'll take 3 mils of this alcohol.
How did you get it in that little thing? You pour it in the end or suck it up?
Yeah, it's no,
No,
yeah.
actually, you can pull the plunger out of the other
You
end.
can just heat that up, and then you can just pop that in there again.
Oh, suck it up. Okay.
Okay, but alright, so now we'll get some. You don't need much. No, maybe we should do this.
The light?
No, do it for that.
Yeah. I don't know, do the cap now. Let me do it and you can suck it.